Hey Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising placements. As you guys can see in the title, this is going to be your new moon in Gemini readings for, yeah, the new moon is happening in the next couple of days. I think the 26th of May or the 27th, depending on where you are in the world, but don't quote me on that. Definitely check out the dates to make sure I'm saying the right things or not. Anyway, but again, also, if you see the title, I have tropical and sidereal charts that I am reading for. That is how we're going to move forward from here on out. If you are a Capricorn in sidereal astrology, this message is for you. Okay. Sun, moon, or rising. So if you are a Capricorn in your sidereal or Eastern astrology, this message is for you for all of the Capricorn placements that you have in your big three. But if you are looking for your Western astrological chart, Capricorn, if you are a Capricorn in Western astrology or tropical astrology, this message is still for you. However, you may only really truly resonate with the more tangible aspects of this reading, which means talking about your money, sex, relationships, all of the above, platonic or romantic, your health, things like that, your job, you know what I mean, your home, your belongings, things like that. So if you are a Capricorn in Western astrology, you're more than likely a Sagittarius, I believe, excuse me, in sidereal or Eastern astrology or Vedic astrology. Does that make sense? I am not an expert on these types of topics, but this is what my ancestors have been leading me. I do study astrology just a little bit. So this is what I've been led to do in these readings from here on out, instead of just reading for the Western astrological charts. Okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. Sagittarius, Capricorn. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. We are still in springtime. Happy spring. I hope you guys are enjoying it. All right, so Capricorn, we are going to go ahead and talk about your more spiritual aspects of your lives, the spiritual, your spiritual existence. So we're going to pull oracle messages first for your spiritual messages from this new moon in Gemini, and then we will pull oracle messages for your more tangible aspects of your life, the more practical, pragmatic, and physical, material aspects of your life after. So let's go ahead and jump into the spiritual messages from this new moon for you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Ancestors of light, messengers of light. This is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising placements for the more spiritual aspects of their lives. Spiritual messages for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. Ancestors. Let's see. Sorry, guys, my forehead itches for some reason. So some of you guys might be a life path number 1. You received the card Rafting, meeting a calling challenge. So there is a challenge that is calling to you. You can feel it, Capricorn. You know what this challenge is. Whether this challenge is something that you're excited about or not, you know that this needs to be addressed, right? It needs to be met. You can't really run away from it. So if this is advice, you need to meet this challenge. You need to approach it. You need to address it. Okay. There's something in your life that's challenging and you've just been kind of putting it off in the past. The new moon is not going to allow you to kind of dodge it anymore. You know what I mean? Bottom of the deck, we have card 46, the elk. 4 and 6 is 10. And 1 and 0 is 1. So it still adds up, still dwindles down to 1, right? So some of you guys, the number 1, this might be number 1 priority right now for some of you, this challenge, okay? Seeking a powerful animal's objective. So some of you guys need to get down to business and understanding this. What is the objective here of this situation? Why? There's some questions that need to be asked here in a situation here, but we're talking about the spirit. So for you, your how you feel, Capricorn, about something, what you're feeling in your soul about something. Some of you guys, this powerful animal is you. It's your soul. You need to go within yourself to seek answers about what to do in a challenging situation. What is your objective? How are you moving forward? How do you want to move forward? Is there any type of falsehood involved in this situation that you need to clear out or that you need to be aware of, whether it be within yourself or someone else? Some of you guys, I also kind of see, oh, I just heard following the herd. I don't know why that popped into my head, but, and I don't mean following as if you're trying to do the same thing that this herd, that these people or this group is doing. It's just more like, it could be I don't know. It's just like, I was about to say something else, but then like that popped into my head, so I have to address it. But there's like something about following a herd or like watching or observing a herd or a group of people. Take that as you will. I don't know what that means. My ancestors are not really giving me more than that. There's some kind of goal or destination where there may be other people who know how to get there, and you need to kind of actually ask them how to meet a certain goal or meet a certain challenge, and they're really the only type of people that know the answer to that. So there's like literally no way around it. So if you're trying to meet a challenge, you need to ask someone specifically or a certain person who's been through it, I guess, in order to really understand how to meet that goal or how to meet this challenge. There's just no shortcut. So it may be frustrating to hear this person give you the answer that you already knew deep down inside. They may just tell you, "Hey Capricorn, you just got to bite the bullet and do this." And you're like, trying to look for an easy route maybe. But I'm just getting like there's no easy route. Once you get into this situation and meet this challenge, I feel like you will be better equipped to deal with it. Like once you're in it, you'll learn as you go, kind of a thing. And there's nothing really to be worried about, really. Because if you're constantly standing outside of this challenge or this situation, of course, it's going to seem even more daunting until you step into it. You may be nervous or you may not really want to deal with it. But others of you, once again, it's like this could be a challenge that you really do want to be a part of. Like you actually want to step up to this challenge. But again, it's like you might need to talk to somebody first, like consult your spirit guides, consult God, or consult your ancestors, or maybe consult a family member, consult somebody who is very strong, very powerful, like really has a strong will, is very truthful as well. Like this is, I'm also getting like this is someone who, is very confident because of their experiences. There's a lot that I'm getting here, Capricorn, but again, take what resonates, leave what does not, okay? That's what I'm getting here for the more spiritual aspects of how you feel spiritually and emotionally regarding whatever this situation is. Sorry guys, let me take a sip. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and get into The we're going to go ahead and get into the more tangible, physical, material aspects of your lives. Capricorn, sun, moon, and rising signs. So again, if you are a Capricorn in Western astrology, sun, moon, or rising, especially your sun sign or your rising, this message might resonate a little bit more with you as far as your tangible, your money, your relationships, whatever's tangible, in your life, all of the above tangible. All right, one more time, you guys. Capricorn. South node, you have past lives, natural gifts, karmic challenge. There's that word challenge again. Challenges. Can't make this up, y'all. Past lives, natural gifts, karmic challenges. This natural gift that you have, or natural gifts, plural, you have been carrying this with you, Capricorn, since for many past lives, or you carry it with you from a certain past life into this one, if you believe in that kind of thing. But others of you on a more tangible, matter, in a more tangible way, when it comes to your money, when it comes to your skills, when it comes to your relationships, problem solving, taking care of your health, whatever, your job, your career, you have what it takes. However, there could be those of you that are kind of struggling with your gifts in this, under this new moon. Some of you guys may actually end up having dreams about your past lives. Like you may have a dream where this scene is so vivid, it feels like you're actually there. You know what I mean? And you start meeting people, and you may brush it off like it's just a dream, but it's like that might be a past life experience that you have in your sleep. So pay attention to your dreams, because I believe that there are dreams, there are visitations, and then you have past life visitations, okay, and or astral travel. That's just my personal belief. But anyway, we're not going to get into that. But you guys could be having some past life experiences in your sleep, okay, or some astral travel or astral projections of some kind under this new moon in Gemini. Let's see what's at the bottom. I'm curious. Okay, self-care, wellness, architecture with Ceres or Ceres. Okay. Interesting. So this new moon is teaching you through your past lives, through your dreams, that you need to not allow, or even if it's just your past in general, in this, just in your life currently, like whatever happened in your childhood, in a past relationship, when you were in college, when you had, in your old job, whatever, in your teenage years, you are being asked to understand the karmic occurrences that are these karmic patterns that are happening in your life. These are patterns that constantly happen, not necessarily constantly, but they just kind of show up. Like maybe it's a relationship. There's certain types of like relationship patterns that you keep having to deal with, okay? Because once you kind of clear that out, I'm just using that as an example, but if you have any type of relationship patterns on the negative front, or that you were just like, you just can't get past this wall when it comes to relationships, once you understand why you're stuck, maybe it's because you're, every single time there's somebody who comes your way and they seem nice or they seem kind, and you just kind of fall for it, and you're just like, they seem like a really nice person, but you're not really paying attention to the signs that are being shown to you early on in the relationship that are showing you like this is going to be a waste of your time, and you keep falling for relationships like that, then maybe you need to kind of just think about like, okay, why do I keep, not why, but you need to just realize I need to stop giving people my time like that just because they're nice or because they're kind or because, whatever. If this is about money or your own personal skills or your own natural gifts, and you just kind of feel like, nobody is, nothing is taking off, you're not making any money, or you're not making the amount of money that you thought you would make from this project or from your skills or from a service that you provide. Um, some of you guys may feel overworked. I don't know, but there is some type of challenge. And some of you guys, this challenge has a lot to do with your health, or it has a lot to do with how you love yourself. So you could be doing all of the right things. However, all of the right things that you're doing towards other people is not really bringing you the results that you anticipate, right? Like the results are not really like matching what you're putting out, what you're giving out, right? And that's a huge challenge for some of you guys possibly. And that's the part that you need to like find the answers to under this new moon. It's like, why is this part of my life not, why aren't the fireworks going off on this part of my life? What kind of patterns in my life are consistent that I need to change? How do I disrupt that pattern and make and create a healthier pattern? Whether it's financial, whether it's with your family, with friendships, or with romantic partnerships, and with your health, right? So if there's something going on with your health where you're constantly having gut issues or skin issues, hair issues, whatever, respiratory issues, cardiovascular issues, whatever it is that you're having issues with your physical health, Capricorn, just understand that there is something different. Maybe you really just need to stop eating certain things, or you need to stop listening to certain people talk about health and give you advice because they probably don't know what they're talking about, or maybe they partially know what they're talking about, but you might need to get a second opinion. um Maybe there's a doctor you need to stop going to. Okay, just saying. I don't know, but there's something here where you need to take care of yourself here, Capricorn. You need to learn how to love yourself. You need to learn how to take care of your health. Okay, make sure that your relationships, if there's any negative or karmic patterns that are happening in your relationships, like you could have a really positive karmic pattern with money, but a really bad karmic pattern with relationships, or you can have a really good karmic pattern with your relationships, but a really bad karmic pattern when it comes to money. Okay. This can also be your bloodline. This can be your ancestry, where, maybe the women or men in your ancestry had a certain illness, or maybe they couldn't have children, or they had a hard time having kids. Maybe they have money blockages, whatever. You need to look back at those things for some of you and just realize, okay, how do I stop that pattern from continuing? Right? How do I make this stop with me? And just kind of look into like the mindset of your ancestors or the family members that came before you and try to, heal yourself from that. Okay. So let's go ahead and pull some tarot cards, Capricorn, for you guys for this new moon in New Moon in Gemini. I'm sorry. For this new moon in Gemini, we're going to go back into, we're going to pull 3 cards for 2 set of cards, which the first set of 3 is going to be about your spiritual lives. I'm going to go ahead and clarify and give a little bit more information on that. And then the next 3 is going to be about your money and your relationships and your health. Okay. Okay. For Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising placements, give us more information. Ancestors of light, messengers of light for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising placements under this new moon in Gemini for their spiritual path, their spiritual messages. One more time. Some cards that wanted to fall. I'll put that over here. Okay, so spiritually, You definitely spiritually, emotionally, mentally, Capricorn, you have what it takes. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You guys are very wealthy in spirit. Your past lives, you guys may have been very wealthy in your past lives as well, or you were just a really hard worker. It wasn't that you were necessarily born from wealth in your past lives. Some of you guys may have been, maybe lived past lives where you weren't wealthy, but you were wealthy when it came to your land. Okay, in your past life. Okay, maybe you had like beautiful land, you had crops, you had a beautiful farm. I don't know. Um, but others of you, you were just very balanced in your past lives. Okay. But spiritually and emotionally, you guys are in really good shape. You guys are very balanced, and this new moon wants you to remember that. They want, the new moon in Gemini wants you to remember, hey, equilibrium, balance. Okay, I want you to really think about what wealth is to you. Is it money? Is it relationships, good relationships? Some people find wealth in their knowledge. Some people find wealth you know in their confidence. Some people find wealth and prosperity in being parents, and being parents and having kids, right? Some people just, they find their wealth and prosperity just in love in general. They have beautiful loving family members, beautiful loving friends, and loving partnerships in romance, right? So this is all about balancing, understanding how to balance the tangible wealth and prosperity with the spiritual wealth and prosperity. Does that make sense? Now, there were some cards that wanted to come out kind of. Yeah, you guys have worked really hard. hmm You guys have definitely been hurt in the past, time and time again, or you guys have been disappointed. You've been burned a little bit in the past, and you guys are kind of tired of it. Hmm. You just kind of feel like there's not really much that you're gaining, but there's so much that you're contributing, so much that you're giving, but you're not gaining anything. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups. So this is definitely needing to kind of measure up, kind of um, wisen up, mature in this type of challenge. This challenge is here and calling you because it's time to mature emotionally and spiritually. Okay, even though, yes, you are very balanced here in so many different ways, this new moon is asking you, hey, Capricorn, align your emotions and your heart with your soul so that your life, your tangible life can also align with what's going on inside of you. So some of you guys just need to ask the question, how do I align my soul and my heart with what I want, and materialistically. So if you're constantly doing a bunch of work, outward work, but your heart and your soul are not aligned with what you're doing, it's not really going to work. It's not going to work, Capricorn. Okay? It's not going to work to your benefit at all. Um yeah, I just feel like there's just like some lopsided energy, like there's just too much weight on one side, not enough weight on the other. So it's like you need to balance between the tangible and the spiritual. Let's go ahead and get some messages for your physical, your financial, your relationship, and your physical health messages from the new moon in Gemini. One more time. Also making sure you're letting go of stubbornness here. Letting go of stubbornness. Ooh, these cards keep wanting to fly out of my hands, child. Yep. These cards wanted to show themselves earlier. So Yep, you've definitely been disappointed before. Yep, same cards. Same cards that fell out earlier. That's funny. That is funny. But this card wanted to show itself, which is the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups showing itself underneath is the Ace of Swords. You need to really become clear, Capricorn, about like, what is your objective here? If you really think about like, what is my objective? Why am I doing the things that I do? Why am I going after this goal? Why am I working so hard towards this achievement? If you know, just really sit with yourself and be honest. Be honest. Some of you guys have a Libra you're dealing with, or you have Libra in your chart. You may have Taurus in your chart. Okay. You may even have a Leo in your chart or Aries. But I'm just getting this energy of like, you need to become very clear, Capricorn, of what is the objective here. Like if it's a relationship, what is the objective? Don't just leave it up in the air like, you know, if we get married, we get married. If we don't, we don't. No. Right? Well, if we end up in a committed relationship, great. But if we don't, whatever. It's like, what is your objective here with your romantic partnerships? What do you want? What is your objective when it comes to like respect, you know, self-respect? Are you demanding respect of people? Are you making sure that you are distancing yourself from relationships that constantly take from you? Or are you just kind of just being like, whatever, you know, or, you know, if it's your money, if it's like, if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's like, no, you learn from it, learn how to gain, learn how to gain, learn how to make more. Like, if you want more money, why? If there's a certain type of happiness that you want, is it because somebody else has it and you're trying to, you know, simulate that or emulate that in your life? Or is it because, you know, or is it because you really want that? Like that is something that you're passionate about, you know? What is your objective? What is your purpose within these situations? If you're in a situation and you're just, you know, kind of just filling in space, don't fill in space, Capricorn. You don't need to fill in space. Do you want to be happy or not? Right? Do you want to feel accomplished? Are you just chasing accomplishment just to feel accomplished, or do you actually have an end goal? Like, do you what kind of legacy are you trying to build here, Capricorn? I don't know. I'm just getting like, just really be clear about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And if you're in a relationship and you're not sure about it, but you're just like, well, I'm just here. It's like, no, if you're not feeling sure about it, there's a reason for that. I'm also getting this energy of like, some of you guys might get upset when someone says there's a reason for everything. Everything happens for a reason. Well, it does, y'all. Like it does. Like everything has a reason. Either that reason is because you're not getting things in order. So there are certain things that are just not falling into place. You get disappointment, you break up with somebody. Maybe if something like hits you like a train or out of left field and you're just like, dang, like why did that even happen? Why is that just always happening to me? Because there's something off. There's something that you're not doing, or there's something that you're doing too much of. Maybe there's certain traps that you're falling for constantly. I don't know, but I know people get upset with this, but I will always say this: everything happens for a reason. There's never just no reason. It's just that sometimes we don't have the answer to the reason. And so we get frustrated with that. Sometimes you're not always going to get the answers because why? We're not paying attention to what we're doing. We're just doing things and just hoping for the best. No, this is not about doing things and hoping for the best, Capricorn. This is doing it and knowing that the best is going to happen and understanding why you deserve the best in a certain situation, or all of the above. Does that make sense? I don't know who needed to hear that, but it's out there. Okay. All right, you guys, much love and light to all of you, Capricorn. I wish you guys the very best of luck on this journey. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you guys in your next reading. Bye.